Hello, my name is Dr. Robin Crabtree, and I'm the Dean of the Bellarmine College of Liberal Arts. It is my great pleasure to offer parents and families of incoming LMU students an overview of our curriculum, which will help you feel informed and I hope calmer, and to be a good support to your student. And congratulations, by the way, your student's admission to LMU is an extraordinary accomplishment, and we recognize that this outcome was not the students alone, but the result of hard work by and concerted support of parents and other family members, so kudos to you all. In this presentation, I'll offer an overview of LMU's educational philosophy and how it fits into the U.S. higher education landscape. I'll also explain how LMU's curriculum works, with a special focus on the core curriculum, which is taken by every LMU student. At LMU, we have a deep and strong sense of who we are and what makes us distinctive as an educational institution. The history of American higher education has developed through three significant phases or models. As you'll see, we are grounded at LMU in all three of these models. And in fact, we combine the best of all these models with roots in the liberal arts, having world-class faculty who do cutting-edge research, and yet who are focused primarily on the holistic development of students, preparing them for meaningful and productive post-graduation outcomes, and especially for them to be citizens of conscience and competence working in the world for the common good. Importantly, the liberal arts and sciences comprise the centerpiece of a Jesuit education, and this values-based breadth education has the most enduring value both to the individual students and graduates and to society at large. LMU's threefold educational mission includes the encouragement of learning, which focuses on academic excellence, of course the liberal arts and sciences, and lifelong learning. The education of the whole person, which is achieved through both the liberal arts core and the major, is also part of the integration of living and learning at LMU, where we attend comprehensively to the ethical, moral, and spiritual development of each student. The service of faith and the promotion of justice is one of the things that differentiates Jesuit educational models from others, and it arises from a 450-year-old tradition of Jesuit education. I see this threefold mission manifest in relationship to two very important constructs in Jesuit higher education. One is cura personalis, or care for the whole person. This is about integration of mind, body, and spirit. We really want to facilitate and encourage self-knowledge and self-care, but also care for individuals and communal relationships. This manifests in a community ethos that's part of the first-year experience, and most students go on to live this through their friendship circles, their clubs and organizations, and student government and leadership positions, etc. Our person-centered approach to education guides students in pursuing their passions, broadening their horizons, discerning a life path, not just seeking a lifestyle, gaining transferable skills and career readiness, of course, and through it all, growing in self-understanding and awareness. The other is persons for others. Social responsibility and the common good are very important outcomes of a Jesuit education. Students will encounter diverse ways of thinking about these throughout the curriculum and also in their co-curricular experiences. Community engagement and service. Students undertake these through courses in organized and individualized programs. Students are encouraged to engage deeply in issues facing society as they manifest here in Los Angeles and around the world, and to engage in partnership with communities and organizations as they learn to be active citizens, agents of positive social change, and to develop professional and transferable skills arising from their service. Our Jesuit Marymount approach is other-oriented. wherein students learn about the traditions of service to others, ask deep questions about their values and the world, and seek profound answers, ultimately to learn and serve in community with others. While the curriculum should be understood by the students and navigated through their own interests and efforts, it can be helpful for parents to know how the curriculum works. This is especially important for parents who did not attend a four-year college, attended a very different type of institution, or who went to college in another country. These tend to be the proportions of our incoming classes year after year at LMU because of the organization of the various academic programs and their degree of popularity with students. I would also note that many undeclared and pre-education students are in the Bellarmine College of Liberal Arts. Students sometimes change schools or colleges, but such changes will not occur during registration or orientation periods, and this is very important to remember. Once accepted into a school or college, students will begin their education according to the parameters of those programs. They can consult with an advisor in the first semester if they question the fit of their school or college with their new or continuing academic interests and goals. It is important to understand that academic programs are the purview of the faculty, and academic majors can be organized slightly differently from one university to the next. At LMU, full-time faculty are the primary academic advisors, which is a distinguishing feature of an LMU education. Students will get to know their advisors and should seek to develop trusting, mentoring relationships with them. There are also many staff advisors across the university, and students use those resources throughout their 4 years to augment advice and mentoring from faculty. This is the organization of LMU's degree program. It's similar to other regionally and nationally accredited institutions in that it has 3 parts. As a Catholic Jesuit Marymount University, the core curriculum is likely larger than what are called the general education requirements at many universities. The core curriculum, which we'll explore more fully in a moment, is one of our most important and impactful educational features. While this might look daunting at first, there is the possibility of double counting courses across core and major, major and minor, minor and core, minor and elective, and so on, which gives students a lot of flexibility to complete requirements while tailoring their overall curriculum to their unique combination of interests. Throughout this presentation, you will hear the terms units, credits, and semester hours used in different colleges at different times. Essentially, these are the same. A single unit, credit, or semester hour is defined as a minimum of 1 hour of work in class or a lab per week for a 15-week semester supervised by an instructor. A 3-hour course will meet for 3 hours a week, and a 4-unit course will usually meet for 4 hours per week, and so forth. Lower division courses are typically taken during the first and second years. Upper division courses are usually taken during the junior and senior year. The numbering of courses reflects the level that those courses are offered. A prerequisite course is a course that must be taken before a more advanced course may be taken. There's no way around prerequisites, and the course numbering system is a good way of figuring out what is a prerequisite. Sometimes junior or senior status might also be a prerequisite for taking an upper division course. The core curriculum is the centerpiece of an LMU education. It encourages breadth of subject area exploration, along with growth in intellectual complexity and application of learning. It focuses on liberal arts learning outcomes, grounds students in the traditions of Catholic, Jesuit, Marymount traditions, and complements and enriches the major course of study. Given the 4-year nature of LMU's core, Students' breadth learning will accompany their major depth learning, and they will also almost automatically get the right number of lower and upper division courses across their 4 years. Both the majors and the core are designed to ensure students take enough courses at each level of the curriculum. The core might look daunting, but let's take it step by step. Foundational courses are generally taken in years 1 and 2. They're designed to introduce students to the intellectual life of LMU, guiding students to confront important issues about their values and society. At the foundations level, all LMU students take these courses, mostly in the first year, and these courses also help them transition to college-level work, provide the intellectual building blocks for their 4-year program, and create common learning experiences for all students at LMU. In years sometimes 1, but mostly 2 and 3, explorations courses encourage students to engage in different disciplinary methods and perspectives across the humanities, the arts, the natural sciences, and the social sciences. In the explorations courses, students take classes that expose them to the various domains of academic inquiry, providing the conceptual and methodological frameworks for understanding the world around them and becoming actively engaged as consumers of knowledge and also as producers of knowledge. Given the importance of multi- and interdisciplinary knowledge and modes of inquiry to all professional fields and to addressing all social challenges, these courses will be woven with those taken for the student's major. Students have many choices of courses in each of these explorations areas, some of which might count in their major or towards a minor, or might inform their career exploration in various ways. In years 3 and 4, students take integration courses. There are 3 of them, and they focus on key LMU values, such as the interplay of faith and reason, of ethics and justice, as well as furthering students' application of interdisciplinary learning and problem solving. These are often among our most fascinating course topics and are sometimes team taught by faculty in different disciplines, even in different schools and colleges at LMU. These courses challenge students to take their learned skills and knowledge from all the foundation and exploration courses, together with their major requirements, and apply them to interdisciplinary consideration of thematic questions, social issues, or key challenges. Also in years 2 through 4, students will take flagged courses. These are in writing, in oral skills, in quantitative reasoning, in information literacy, and community-engaged learning that builds on and reinforces the skills and critical thinking students obtain in the foundations courses. Many of these flags are embedded in major and/or core courses, making it quite easy for students to meet these flag requirements. In all, there are 13 core courses. This is not a large core curriculum. We encourage students to do at least 2 philosophy and 2 theology classes as part of the long tradition of Jesuit education, which our alumni tell us were most often the most valuable aspects of their entire 4-year experience. And by the way, the business and engineering students are the most likely to tell us that. All of our students often find that these important components of a Jesuit education, a Catholic education, have been the most enduring in their personal and professional lives. Most students take these in foundations and explorations or integrations, though there are many options throughout the curriculum. These core courses focus on the most important outcomes of a college education, particularly a liberal arts education, building intellectual capacity and broader cognitive complexity along with strong work ethic and drive for excellence. multi and interdisciplinary awareness and ways of thinking and problem solving, good habits of reading and effective written, oral, and interpersonal communication, broad intellectual curiosity, along with many modes of thoughtful, careful, and critical inquiry, appreciation for and knowledge about many histories, traditions, great works, and perennial challenges of the human condition, engagement with enduring questions through critical, aesthetic, and creative exploration, how these questions have been asked and answered by others, and how they relate to the world of today and the student's own beliefs and goals. Engagement with common and diverse ideals, heritage, and experience, as well as encountering difference with openness and empathy. Just to note, employers prefer to hire liberally educated people rather than those who are narrowly trained. 93% of employers say that job candidates demonstrated capacity to think critically, communicate clearly, and solve complex problems is more important than their undergraduate major. Importantly, the core and also electives give students the opportunity to explore diverse areas of interest. Students might choose a major based on a career goal, but they have many interests, and while they're here, they will find new passions. Core and electives give students opportunity to complement the major. Sometimes it's more obvious. For example, communication studies students and journalism students might major or minor in one or the other. Film students sometimes do a minor in finance or vice versa. But sometimes these are not so obvious. We have biology majors who are minoring in theological studies or vice versa. Electrical engineering majors minoring in philosophy. Core and elective courses, the electives especially, help students pursue a minor or a second major. Students can tailor their curricula to produce unique academic programs that reflect their unique combination of interests and goals. Many LMU students have one or two minors or a double major. This is easier in some disciplines than others. For example, many engineering students can easily minor in applied math as they meet their engineering requirements. Many students in the College of Business Administration could minor or double major in economics by taking a couple courses beyond those that are already required in the business school. Many of our students at LMU choose a philosophy or theological studies minor by taking only a couple of courses beyond their core requirements, and there are endless variations to this. We do encourage students to take up or continue their language study, and this can be done in a combination of core and electives if they're not language majors or minors. Students with some mastery of foreign language demonstrate increased cognitive complexity, a greater global and diversity awareness, and can communicate this as value added to employers. Starting salaries, by the way, for language students are a bit higher, particularly when candidates show employers how it will be relevant to the job or otherwise add value to their work. Students should ask about taking placement exams during orientation or afterwards. It's also worth noting that the Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society looks very positively on students who study language. Students may continue language study in order to build greater fluency in a language they studied in high school. They can study a new language related to a study abroad site that's different from the language they've already studied, or choose a language related to disciplinary goals, professional aspirations, or their own cultural heritage. We also encourage students to continue to engage creatively by keeping art or musical interests alive, which they can do through their core and electives. Many students take art, theater, and music classes or engage in co-curriculars, even while majoring outside of the fine and performing arts. Sometimes parents care a lot about the choice of major. Maybe too much. Anyway, a major is a framework. A liberal education has breadth built in. Majors are emphases for depth exploration, but they're not commitments to specific jobs or careers. It's not necessary to have a major during a student's first year. In fact, many professors would suggest students don't pick a major until they've had a chance to look around at many subjects, because students don't have a chance to study in high school all of the subject areas that are available to them in college. Your student's academic advisor will share more about how to explore majors. About half our students change majors at least once, so it's important to note that it's not simply our undeclared students who are undecided. Majors can be changed. However, some majors have prerequisites and/or a separate application process that must be completed before the student can declare the major. Advisors are the best resource here. Students are not guaranteed acceptance into majors in other schools or colleges, and again, I would reiterate, students won't change schools or majors during registration and orientation. They'll have opportunities to do that later. The major I have now will determine my lifelong career. Can you imagine if that were true for all of us? I think most of us will remember that choosing a major does not limit you to only one career choice. In fact, the best education prepares us for many, and this will be very important for our graduates of tomorrow. For the most part, a major can provide skills as well as preparation for graduate school, but it's not a profession. A BA in psychology does not make you a psychologist. A BA in film does not make you a filmmaker. Most people change jobs and careers several times, and like me, I bet that's true for many of you parents. 10 years after graduation, most are in jobs that are unrelated to their undergraduate major or only partially or tangentially related. Any major can prepare students for graduate school, law school, med school. Through their own registration process, students will be invited to reflect on their interests and goals and guided expertly through their choices. These online resources, the fuller information available through the department and program web pages, and interactions with faculty advisors during registration and throughout their time at LMU will ensure your students are informed and can take full advantage of all LMU has to offer. We are looking forward to seeing you in August for orientation, and don't hesitate to be in touch with questions in the meantime. Congratulations again for all you have done to support your students in getting into LMU and getting off to college, and to your students for the academic achievement and aspiration that makes them LMU Lions. Go Lions!